join the audience, stand up and walk so that you don't step on anyone else in the audience. He's a very careful person. And River, show us how you go sit. Pretend you're in a theater. And Max and Ian and Journey and Sawyer and Dustin. I'll be calling players in just a minute. Hi, Atwood. Eli, you can go too, and I'll call players. We're going to play our instruments to accompany the book Caps for Sale by Esfir Slobodkina. She was a woman who lived in Siberia when she was young. The lady who wrote. Say it. Esfir Slobodkina. We're going to have an audience and players. And we've not had practice. This is kind of a dry run. Morgan, would you like to join Miss Jess and see our production? Come and join us. Sit with Miss Jess. All right. Today we have a shaker made of tagua nuts. Would you like to say it? Tagua. We have a tone bar. We have calaves. They're kind of loud. We have a wiro made from a gourd. And we have our bells. I'm going to call Sawyer. And you can do the tagua nuts. And Max. And Sawyer knows to stand still with her instrument and not play until it's her turn. And Journey Calaves. You may walk around the back of the bells. It might be easier for you to reach things. And Dustin, the wiro, you'll play it strongly. And Eli, the bells. Let's see.
Well, I didn't get to do some.
That's right. Some days you get a turn. And some days you don't get a turn, right?
Will they
Maybe.
share?
Excuse me? I couldn't hear you.
Will they share?
Will they share? Right now, it's their work. And on another day, you might get a turn. Today, your turn is being in the audience. Our instruments will be at rest. Remember, they're at rest until you're ready. We're going to have Sawyer is the checked cap. Can you play it one time for us, Sawyer? Checked cap. Max is the gray caps. And Journey is the brown caps. And Dustin will be the blue caps. And finally, Eli is the red caps. Ready?
Yeah.
Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First he had on his own checked cap. First he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Would you one morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street, and he walked down the street, calling,
Caps
"Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. Probably better stand up, Eli, and remember not to touch the bells. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his cat. Thank you for keeping your instrument at rest. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put his hand up to feel if they were straight. First, his own checked cap. Checked cap. Then the gray caps. Then the brown caps. Then the blue caps. And then the red caps on the top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. Ready? He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw?
The monkey wearing the cap.
On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown
Cap.
or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you!" Shaking a finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you! You give me back my caps." I'll take them for a minute, Jen, so you can remember. Thank you. But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Are you ready? Okay. Now say the monkey sound. There. If you're all stamping your feet, we can't hear the monkey sound. By this time, the peddler was really very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "Now wait until you're done stamping. All right. You monkeys, you must give me back my cap." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet and said to him, it's a funny sound they make. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. Are you ready? And all the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps at the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" The end. And now the audience claps and the players bow.